Good morning, dear students. Today we'll be starting the second module in income tax, that is income from salary. In this module, we'll study about the meaning of salaries, perquisites, profit in lieu of salary, then the different things like the different calculations involved in the salary, whether the perquisites are taxable or not taxable. Those all things we are going to study in this module. Meaning of salary is defined in section 17. Then we'll study about basics of charges, house rent allowances, special allowances, foreign allowances, deductions from salary, deductions on account of entertainment allowance, deduction account of tax on employment or professional tax, salary perquisites and profit in lieu of salary, exclusive definition of salary, rent-free accommodation, accommodation at concessional rate, motor car facility, gardener, watchman, sweeper, or other servant, gas, electricity, water, education facilities, transport facilities, obligation of employee met by employer, payment of insurance premium on behalf of the employee, specified security or sweet equity allotted transferred to employees by employer, any contribution to an approved superannuation fund by employer in respect of employee, any other fringe benefit. Then loan to employee either in a concessional rate, expenditure in connection with traveling, touring, or accommodation to the employee, free refreshment or a food, any gift or a voucher, expenses on credit cards, club membership, use of movable assets, transfer of movable assets, any other benefit, medical facilities, leave travel concession, death cum retirement gratuity, treatment of commuted pension, treatment of leave salary, provident fund, retirement compensation, compensation received on voluntary retirement, profit in lieu of salary. Okay, now chargeability of salary. What all things are converted or included under salary? Those things we will study. There should be employee and employer relationship if you call the word salary. When the word salary comes, there has to be a relationship of employer and employee. And when a relationship of employer or employee is existing, then the word salary comes. And the salary, if it is above the limit of the tax paid by the government, then it has to be taxable salary. Any amount received, whether in cash or a kind or in kind, from the employer or ex-employer for the services rendered under the contract of service is chargeable under the head salary, right? If you, by the employer, if employee is getting any amount cash or in kind, such amount for the services what employee is rendering to the employer, those things are called as salary. Now payee receiver are two persons. First, employer is the payee and employee is the receiver, right? There must be a relationship, as I told you, of employer and employee, right? Now receiver relationship should be there. Now whether the salary income is chargeable under the head salary, salary received by Mr. Raju from his company, bonus received from the employer, rent free accommodation, motor car facilities, right? Salary received by the partner of the partnership firm, salary received by MP, ML, salary received by police officers, pension received by Mr. X, pension, family pension received by Mr. X after the death of Mr. X, who was the employee of NTPC Limited. So these all things whether are counted as salary or not. So to understand this, you should know about basic components included in the salary. The salary is divided in two groups, three groups. Three are the most important groups. Then comes four is superannuation groups, profit in lieu of salary. Okay. So the first group is basic components, basic thing generally added to all employees, whether they are the top level employees, medium level, or any other kind of employees. For all the employees, the basic groups are added. Allowances are given based on the type of job what you are doing. That is the second type of group they have done. right? If you are doing some marketing job, allowances are different. If you are doing some trading job, allowances are different. So depending on the type of job, allowances are also segregated. Then perquisites are given, right? Some are taxable perquisites, some are partly taxable perquisites, some are non-taxable perquisites. Then there are some superannuation benefits. Apart from perquisites, some other benefits are given. Then profit in lieu of salary. Apart from salary, some extra addition things are given by the employer to the employee. Those are called as profit in lieu of salary. Now let us see, come to the components subdividing. Group 1 is divided in four types. Four types are included. First is basic pay, dearness allowances, bonus, and commission or fees. These four things are added as group 1. It is common generally. Basic pay is given, DA, dearness allowance is given, bonus is given, commission on sales is also given for almost all employees. Then comes group 2. Allowances means a fixed sum paid to the employees for a specific purpose without confirming the end utilization, and allowance can be divided into four categories. There are different allowances given for different type of job or categories, or different type of work what you are doing. It is segregated on the basis of that. Now allowances, as we know, is divided in four important categories. They have been divided. First is HRA, house rent allowances, which is said in section 10 subsection 13a, rule number 2a. House rent allowances. Now again, in house rent allowances, where he is staying, that is very important. Whether he is staying in small city, medium city, and big city, divided by income tax based on the population, right? On the basis of that, it will be calculated as whether it is a taxable HRA or exempted HRA. Then there are certain special allowances, the second type of allowances, which are said in section 10 subsection 14, rule 2bb. Special allowances can be divided into two categories. First is personal allowances, right? Like children's education allowances, hostel allowances, transport allowances, outstation allowances, tribal area allowances, underground allowances, composite hill and fuel allowances, border area allowances, other allowances like compensatory field area allowances, compensatory high activity field area allowances. So these are personal allowances which will be given. Now allowances for official duty. There are certain allowances which are given for official duty. Like any allowance is granted to meet the cost of travel or on tour or a transfer, right? On tour or a transfer for the business purpose, if you are doing, to meet the cost of the travel or a tour. If the allowance is given for official duty, that is the first type. Daily allowances for daily, if you do any expenditure for official duty, that is counted. Conveyance allowances, helper allowances, academic allowances or research allowances, uniform allowances. Okay, so these are done on the basis of official duty counted in. Now, third type of allowances is foreign allowances, right? Foreign allowances are said in section 10, subsection 7. Any other allowances, other kind of allowances are city compensatory allowances, cash allowances, split duty allowances, overtime allowances, medical allowances, servant allowances, tiffin allowances, deputation allowances, officiating allowances, closing allowances, entertainment allowances. Similarly, there will be any number of other personal allowances. Now, number third type of group. First was basic salaries, then allowances, and the third group is perquisites. Perquisites, in other words, are called as facilities. Facilities. They are provided to the employee by the employer. As you go on the higher designation, starting from the lower designation to reach at the higher designation, the number of perquisites will start increasing. More number of perquisites will be provided. The perquisites are like rent-free accommodation, right? Accommodation at concessional rate, motor car facility, gardener, watchman, sweeper, or other servants like cook, etc. Gas, electricity, and water, education facilities, free transport facilities, payment by employer on behalf of the employee, payment of insurance premium on behalf of employee, specified securities or sweet equity allotment transferred to employee by employer, any contribution towards superannuation fund by employer in respect of employee, any other fringe benefits, loan to employee either at concessional rate or free of interest, expenditure in connection with traveling, tour or accommodation to the employee, rule number 3 subsection 7, subsection 2, free refreshment or food to the employee, any gift voucher or token, rule number 3, expenses on credit card, club membership expenses incurred in a rule, use of movable assets, transfer of any movable assets, any other benefits, medical facilities, leave travel, concession. So these all things are included in perquisites. This is the third group. Now fourth group is superannuation benefit. Those are gratuity, pension, leave salary, provident fund. Then part A of fourth schedule of income tax, retrenchment compensation, voluntary retirement. Then fifth group, any other payment like profit in lieu of salaries, which is said in section 17, subsection 3 of Indian Income Tax Act. Okay, see these all things are included as the salaries or the things which we are going to study in detail. Now, first thing is basic pay, dearness allowance, bonus, commission or fees. Basic pay is the essential component of salary. It is a very important component. It is the main part of the salary. It is given by employer to employee for his basic qualities like qualification, experience and expertise in particular field. When you go to the job, all the people will apply for the job, and whether there are 8 people employed, their basic generally will be same. At the same position, basic will be same. All of them, they are getting like some 10,000 basic. Now depending on the work what you do, your DA, your other allowances will start increasing. If you reach your targets, if you do good sales, if you are profitable to the company, in that case maybe your basic is same, but they will start increasing your DA, they will start increasing your perquisites, they will start increasing the amount in profit in lieu of salaries. With that, your total pay will start increasing. So basic pay is the basic qualities, the amount given for your qualification, experience, expertise in particular field, the amount what you pay, paid by the employer is the basic pay. Like we can see the scale 2000. When he got the job, he was getting the salary of 2000. After that, the basic, after getting 1 year of experience or some amount of experience, his basic pay was increased by 100 rupees for some 4 or 5 years. When it comes to 2500, they have made a rule that again basic pay will get revised. The basic pay, when see from 2000, every year they are increasing 100 rupees, 100 rupees. So till 5 years, it will be 100 rupees same increment in the basic pay. When it comes to 2500 rupees, now the increment won't be 100 rupees, it will be 200 rupees. So till it reaches 3500, the increment in the basic pay yearly or whatever they have a plan, it increases to 3500 rupees. It increases to 200 rupees. Once the basic comes to 3500 rupees, now it won't increase next year 200. It will increase to 300 rupees. So a basic pay is fully taxable. You can't tell that my basic pay I can count under deduction or I can count under some particular allowances. No. Basic pay is fully taxable under the Income Tax Act. Fully tax a person has to pay. Now second comes dearness allowance is given to the employee to compensate him to increase in price, and it is generally allowed as a certain percentage of basic pay, and it is linked to the consumer price index, and it is revised on quarterly basis. Dearness allowance of an employee is always fully chargeable to tax, right? There are certain consumer price index, right? Income tax department, by seeing the market condition, consumer price index will be prepared. By seeing the consumer price index, certain percentage of basic will be calculated as DA, right? Based on his position, DA will be calculated and it will be given to the employee apart from the basic pay. Bonus, it is the part of the profit of the employee which is given to the employee, and it is fully taxable. Bonus, it is fully taxable, right? It is a part when company will do some extra amount of profit, or during certain occasion like festivals are there, extra amount will be given apart from salary, that is bonus. Fees or a commission, extra for extra work. If you do work apart from your regular work, you are bringing certain other clients, so for that you will be getting commission or a fees, so it is also fully taxable.